You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more. To those old allies whose cultural and spiritual origins we share, we pledge the loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do, for we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our word that one form of colonial control shall not have passed away, merely to be replaced by a far more iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our view, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom, and to remember that in the past, those who foolishly sought power by riding the back of the tiger ended up inside. To those people in the huts and villages of half the globe struggling to break the bonds of mass misery, we pledge our best efforts to help them help themselves for whatever period is required, not because the communists may be doing it, not because we seek their votes, but because it is right. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. To our sister republics south of our border, we offer a special pledge to convert our good words into good deeds, in a new alliance for progress, to assist free men and free governments in casting off the chains of poverty. But this peaceful revolution of hope cannot become the prey of hostile powers. Let all our neighbors know that we shall join with them to oppose aggression or subversion anywhere in the Americas. And let every other power know that this hemisphere intends to remain the master of its own house. To that World Assembly of Sovereign States, the United Nations, our last best hope, in an age where the instruments of war have far outpaced the instruments of peace, we renew our pledge of support to prevent it from becoming merely a forum for invective, to strengthen its shield of the new and the weak, and to enlarge the area in which its writ may run. Finally, to those nations who would make themselves our adversary, we offer not a pledge, but a request that both sides begin anew the quest for peace. Before the dark powers of destruction, unleashed by science, engulf all humanity in planned or accidental self-destruction, we dare not tempt them with weakness, for only when our arms are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed. But neither can two great and powerful groups of nations take comfort from our present course, both sides overburdened by the cost of modern weapons, both rightly alarmed by the steady spread of the deadly atom, yet both racing to alter that uncertain balance of terror that stays the hand of mankind's final war. So let us begin anew, remembering on both sides that civility is not a sign of weakness, and sincerity is always subject to proof. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Let both sides explore what problems unite us, instead of belaboring those problems which divide us. Let both sides, for the first time, formulate serious and precise proposals for the inspection and control of arms, and bring the absolute power to destroy other nations under the absolute control of all nations. Let both sides seek to invoke the wonders of science instead of its terrors. Together, let us explore the stars, conquer the deserts, eradicate disease, tap the ocean depth, and encourage the arts and commerce. Let both sides unite to heed in all corners of the earth the command of Isaiah to undo the heavy burden and let the oppressed go free. And if a beachhead of cooperation may push back the jungle of suspicion, let both sides join in creating a new endeavor, not a new balance of power, but a new world of law, where the strong are just and the weak secure and the peace preserved. All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin. In your hands, my fellow citizens, more than mine, will rest the final success or failure of our course. Since this country was founded, each generation of Americans has been summoned to give testimony to its national loyalty. The graves of young Americans who answered the call to service surround the globe. Now the trumpet summons us again, not as a call to bear arms, though arms we need, not as a call to battle, though in battle we are, but a call to bear the burden of a long twilight struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, a struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. Can we forge against these enemies a grand and global alliance, north and south, east and west, that can assure a more fruitful life for all mankind? Will you join in that historic effort? In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Finally, whether you are citizens of America or citizens of the world, ask of us here the same high standards of strength and sacrifice which we ask of you. With a good conscience, our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking His blessing and His help, but knowing that here on earth God's work must truly be our own.
to the earth and let the dark collide. If you could save a life, are you heaven sent? I know that everybody wishes to be born again. Being right alone, and I've always said it. Line your heart up with the stars if you forget it. Speak it to the earth and put it in rotation. Be the God you seek, the good vibration. Sorry. I've been having dreams, jumping on a trampoline, flipping in the air. I never land, just float a bit. As I'm looking up, suddenly the sky erupts. Flames and lots of trees spread to fallen leaves. Now they're right above me. Wait, if I'm on fire, how am I so deep in love? When I dream of dying, I never feel so loved. I've been having dreams, splashing in the summer street, tripping, I fall in. I wanted it to happen. Body turns to ice, crushing weight of paradise. Solid block of gold, lying in the cold. I feel right. Wait, if I'm on fire, how am I so deep in love? When I dream of dying, I never feel so loved. Wait, if I'm on fire, how am I so deep in love? When I dream of dying, I never feel so loved. La 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 la. Wait, if I'm on fire, how am I so deep in love? When I dream of dying, I never feel so. Wait, how am I so deep in love? When I dream of dying, I never feel so. I've been having dreams, jumping on a trampoline. Flip. Hold on. I have one for you that I think you like. Billy. No. Why? Okay. No, I want to ask. We're good. We're good. I like that song. Yeah? Let me see. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Ooh. Nope, I got one for you.
Oh, wait, no. This isn't it, but.
In the darkness, people hide in caves, a slave to the moon phase, always cowering in shadows, praying for the day, pray for daybreak, come sun rays. Prometheus comes and sees us in pain, so the fire from the God gave the humans a flame, let the nighttime ablaze and now the whole world's changed. And so the power burning everything in sight, building towers to the blue sky, aimed the flame but lost the light. You can use the fire to build a bridge, you can use the flame to burn it down. Two roads rise before us, time to choose it now. Slow down, you move too fast, listen to the voices from your past. Slow down, choose your road, elders all around us go. This is our time, this is our turn. Time to unite and let the earth fire burn. Fast forward to living in the present tense. People all disconnect, disregard laws of cause and effect. But the light reflects with eyes looking up from the glow of the stream. See the embers, the pulse, and divulge what they mean. Seeking out the knowledge that the ashes keep. Now the whole world's changed, and so their numbers grew and grew, learning all that they could find. Gathering round the fire now, reclaim the flame, reclaim the light. You can use the fire to build a bridge. You can use the flame to burn it down. Two roads rise before us, time to choose it now. Slow down, don't move too fast. Listen to the voices from your past. Slow down, choose your road. Elders all around us know this is our time. This is our turn. Time to unite and let the earth fire burn. Every man, woman, and child come and sing in harmony.
Come back to the fire.
We're gathering together, one human family.
Come back to the fire.
We're leaving Babylon behind, we're gonna find a better way.
Come back to the fire.
Let today be the day. I pray wisdom, respect, and spirituality. Let this be the foundation of our reality. Maybe truly be the change for humanity and remediate the insanity. Compassionate action is the remedy. We are all connected, there are no enemies. So grab your breath and insist, get the fire and the lay.
It's our choice. We get to choose it, to use our voice before we lose it. Talking about the planet, talking about pollution. Gathering, traveling, navigating the solution.
Coming with the medicine music.
I believe in the power of the people in this movement.
We got the fire, we know how to use it. This is our time, let's do it. Fire, fire, with fire. Listen to the voices from your life. Fire, with fire. Elders all around us. Light, fire, with fire. This is our turn. Light, fire, time to unite and let the earth fire burn.
There's no answer to any of this. No one knows the source of joy.
quite tell where it is that I am, and you begin. I feel insane, I can't explain it, but I know in my heart that everyone is greater than the sum of their parts. The candle may go out, but there's a spark in the darkness, burns for a moment and returns. This body, everybody's nobody, just illusion, dancing on cell walls. Look behind the eyes to find the light inside, and realize that everybody's nobody at all. I can feel the tilt of the axis starting to shift. I can hear the spirits singing, voices lift. Now change is coming from the roots to the base. The Buddha and Shiva and the elephant agree. A chain reaction of compassion from the ashes of greed, coming to set us free. This body, everybody's nobody, just illusion, dancing on cell walls. Look behind the eyes to find the light inside, and realize that everybody, nobody at all. Everybody's nobody, everybody's nobody, everybody's nobody at all. You are your mother, you are your father, you're the beauty and disaster of all your ancestors, and you come tonight. We are our grandmother, we are our grandfather. We are the comedy, we are the tragedy, the actor and the author. And we come to life, we come to life. Can take this seed and smash it open and still you'll never find oak tree hiding inside. Say, yeah, you can take this seed and smash it in the bits and still never find oak tree hiding inside. Yeah, beat it in the green road. Now I'm on a run to the cappuccino. Sometimes it feels so damn control, but now it's time to wake up. All these rules of thought just weigh me down. I can see they're my way out. Voices from the past start to shout. It's time to make the ball drop. Within the play and without pain, nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Come to life, we come to life. With intention, without tension, without words to be to mention. Come to life, we come to life. Oh, yeah. We got everything we need. Got everything we need. See this world is becoming awakened. The new direction being taken. One by one we're gathering the full stampede. And we give it all. We give it all. There ain't nothing that we need. There ain't nothing that we need. Cause we're coming to light. Come a brand new day. Never too late to change our way. Born by a forest of our family trees. feet and smash it open, and still you'll never find the oak tree hiding inside. Say, yeah, you could take this drop of water, analyze it to the end of time. Not see the ocean inside. Someday we'll all be somebody's ancestor. Rolling the glass with the hero adjuster. Blessings and curses handed on down. You right how the story turns out. Inspiration through generations. With a logical map to the treasure. Hear the echo when we listen. Hear the echo now. Within the and without pain. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Come to life. We come to life. Within tension, without tension, without words to be the mention, come to life. We come to life.
Hello. What's up? Good. Huh? Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay. Alright. Maybe. Hmm? I do have to go get Dax though pretty soon. Hold on a second. I'm Meg Bloomberg and I approve this message.
Baby.
Hold on a second.